Hi guys, I would like to thank everyone who donates to the Patreon account. The donations keep the show going. My computer is ready to go kaput after 8 years, so the Patreon fund will help me get another computer, and that will, in turn, enable me to churn out more episodes. There will be more giveaways in the future, and just a reminder, you don't have to give a lot. $1 a month would do. Any amount would be appreciated. Once again, the Patreon account is located at www.patreon.com/leader1. That's Patreon and Leaderone. Thank you and enjoy the show. All right, everybody, welcome to True Crime Would You Rather. And this week, probably be a little bit less gruesome than last week.
Don't count on that.
Yeah, well, I don't know what you have in store for me either.
Mm-hmm.
So we did get some suggestions from listeners because I posted in the Human Monsters podcast group. And so I will give shout outs to those people who made suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one, it came from Connie Bowman. And so hers is, which concentration camp would you rather be in? Unit 731, a gulag in Russia, or a German concentration camp? Now, I had to do homework on this, so we know exactly what we're talking about.
Okay.
The conditions in the gulag were pretty bad. I'm going to read you this primer I have. So prisoners were given crude, simple tools to work with. There was no safety equipment. And most of the emphasis was on work. These were labor camps. Some workers spent their days cutting down trees or digging at frozen ground with handsaws and pickaxes. Others mined coal or copper, and many had to dig up dirt with their bare hands. The work was often so grueling the prisoners would cut their hands with axes or place their arms in a wood stove to avoid it. So they would mutilate themselves to avoid doing this work.
Right.
Camp prisoners often drudged through brutal weather, sometimes facing sub-zero temperatures. Food rations were tight and work days were long. If prisoners didn't complete their work quotas, they received less food. Gulag living conditions were cold, overcrowded, and unsanitary. Violence was common among the camp inmates, who were made up of both hardened criminals and political prisoners. In desperation, some stole food and other supplies from each other. Many workers died from exhaustion, while others were physically assaulted or shot by camp guards.
Jesus.
Historians estimate that at least 10% of the total Gulag prison population was killed each year. I'm going to go with Auschwitz and one of those other German concentration camps because
You die.
yeah, like in many cases, they just shuffled you off to the gas chamber, but also you might. It's hard to say because I mean sometimes in the concentration camps in Germany, you might get experimented on by mad scientists, but I don't know, like doing backbreaking labor outside, and I mean, I know you don't go by Celsius in America. I know you go by Fahrenheit, but freezing temperatures.
What you
Yeah.
described sounds actually like the colonies in Handmaid's Tale. If anybody watches that, they'll know what I mean.
Yeah, I suppose so. So what?
I would probably go with the concentration camps as well, just because I don't want to work myself to death. If you're gonna kill me, let's just go.
Yeah, right. I mean,
I don't want the torture. Plus, my back isn't cut out for that. I'd die.
oh yeah,
Back pain.
they get rid of you in short order. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ma'am, you're 41, but you really have the body of an 86-year-old woman, so we're gonna have to go ahead and just like take you out.
Yeah, they would do that. Yeah.
Oh God. So I'll go with our listener, our comments from some of this girl I have, she had some really good ones. So the first one is, would you rather, this is from Amber Johns. Thank you, Amber. I like your morbid sense of persona. You're right there with me, girl. Would you rather die getting torn apart by Travis the chimp or a school of piranhas?
Damn. You know
Now,
what? I think you would stand a chance. At least with Travis the chimp, I think you could fight him. You could maybe if you could try to wrestle him off. Most of their see, they're very strong. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but I remember seeing a photo online of a chimp that had no hair. The muscular definition. It was like
yeah,
Arnold Schwarzenegger at his prime. It was
they're
just
strong. They're solid.
well, yeah, when you spend half your life swinging from trees, you're gonna have some definition, right? So they're
Yeah,
they're
absolutely.
cut. They're very strong, but in terms of what they do to kill people or kill animals, is mostly with their teeth. They'll bite.
Uh-huh.
So if you could keep it away, if you could keep it from biting you, you might have a chance of.
No, you have to die. Would you rather die by getting torn apart by Travis or a school of piranhas?
Hmm.
Changes things.
Well, I like chimps more. With the piranhas, I think that takes longer. So yeah,
That's a hard one.
yeah. So if I
Um,
die, I guess I'll go with the chimp because at least he's going to leave my remains relatively unscathed, whereas the prawns they're just gonna strip your flesh. You're gonna be a skeleton afterwards. So,
See, I'm gonna go with piranhas because I'll drown. I'll just drown myself.
yeah, you could do that, and then they'll go in your fucking mouth. You'll drown with piranhas in your mouth.
Yeah, but I drown, so
Yeah,
I'm no longer conscious.
yeah, that's true.
See, smart.
Okay.
All right, next one. Let's go.
The next one was put forward by Jamie Lynn. So hers was, and it's funny because we mentioned Ghislaine Maxwell this week, and we mentioned
Oh,
Casey
funny.
Anthony last week, and both of them are mentioned in this one.
Okay.
Would you rather have Ghislaine Maxwell or Casey Anthony babysit your kids?
Mm. Holy shit. That is a no-win situation. Oh my God, that's a really, really, really good question. It's Ghislaine, by the way, just so you know.
Oh, Ghislaine? Oh, okay.
Motherfuck me. I'm gonna go with Casey. Surprisingly, maybe she wouldn't have like a bad day where she didn't want to go out. Maybe my kid could survive Zanny the nanny. I'd rather have that than being sexually prostituted. So I'm gonna go with Casey Anthony.
Yeah, I would choose her too because, she'd have to have a lot of balls to go and kill another kid after all that happened. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they would definitely know at that point this chick's a baby killer. So I think she'd probably be on her best behavior this time around if allowed in the company of a child, which I don't know if they barred her from being around children or having children. I don't know about that part of the case, but yeah, so she'd know better at this point than to harm another child. So
It's
I'd go
pretty
with
sad when you trust freaking Casey Anthony over. That just tells you how bad of a person you are when Casey Anthony is a better fucking choice
yeah.
as a babysitter. God, oof.
Well, the scope of Ghislaine Maxwell's crimes is so much bigger. I
Mm-hmm.
watched part of that documentary series on Netflix about it, and
I watched the whole thing.
When you consider the range of it, I mean, it's international. I mean,
It's disgusting.
yeah,
It's just horrible.
I remember these rings, they exist, and there are rich people who rape children, and they're all protected, and
Yep.
it's disgusting. So what's your next one?
I'll do another one. So Amber, like I said, Amber John submitted 3. Her second one, really interesting. Would you rather die being sucked down into quicksand or drown in a tanker full of KY jelly?
Well, I have a good quick answer for that. It's actually a myth that you can sink to your death in quicksand. I mean, it is softer sand, but you can get out of it pretty quickly. Whereas with petroleum jelly, that's just fuck.
Thick.
But also, actually, I don't know if you could sink into it, could you? I mean, it's pretty thick, right? So.
Oh, good point. Although I am gonna go ahead and call bullshit because my childhood and the never-ending story says that Arthrex totally died in quicksand. Okay, and Atreyu was there watching it, and it ruined my childhood. So quicksand and I are not okay.
Yeah, there was a scene.
Artex died.
My favorite show when I was 5 years old was The Dukes of Hazzard, and I remember one of the Dukes saved a girl who sank in quicksand, but I guess it took a long time for the scientific reality of quicksand to get around,
Yeah, but okay, so the consistency of the jelly is going to give me horrendous anxiety because it's so freaking thick. I don't know if you can sink in it, but that is just too much. So I'd choose the quicksand.
Well, maybe before it's sold to us, like before they finish the manufacturing, it's probably quite viscous, right? Maybe there's a lot more. Maybe it's not quite so jellied before they finish it off.
I still can't.
Yeah, that would be gross.
I'd rather have the sand.
I read about a woman who drowned in a vat of caramel, like it was really, and I thought, well, it was really hot caramel, so that would be horrific. But I thought, what if it was like lukewarm caramel? That would be a nice death. Death by caramel.
No, it's too. I don't like the consistency. The thickness is what grosses me out.
Yeah, like to die in something so. Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about that like gives me the heebie-jeebies. Like I just can't picture like. I don't know. I can't explain it.
Maybe it's because you don't have a sweet tooth. Maybe you.
That could be. That could be.
Yeah, almond bear claws are as far as you'll
go.
You don't want to dive into a vat of caramel.
No, I don't.
Okay, so the next one I have is by Bast Isis. Ooh. Would you rather be forced to dismember a woman or a man for the purposes of eating genitals raw?
You have to eat their genitals?
You have no choice. You have to eat someone's genitals, but you're given a choice of the gender.
Oh, definitely a man.
A man? Yeah.
Yeah. Duh.
Well,
sorry, guys. Sorry.
I won't ask you if you've undergone that operation at the entry level, but many females have. So, yeah, you just have to go a step further. Well, okay.
I'm just a jilted. I went through a couple of bad relationships in the past couple of years. I'm happily single, so I'm still a little bitter toward some of the males.
Well, are there guys that you kind of wish you had castrated?
Like I said previously, I'm kind of a good soul. I believe in karma, so no.
Oh, okay.
Nobody that I wish I would have, because karma will eventually come around, and I don't have to do it. But if I had to choose, I would choose a male.
Oh, okay. All right. What's your next one?
Okay, this is the last one from Amber, and this is freaking intense. Girl, kudos to you, because this is badass. Would you rather, and I still don't know my answer, be stranded in a spacesuit in space, or stranded in a submarine running out of oxygen with no way to call for help?
I think I'd go for the submarine because you probably, I guess if you're just forced to swim to the surface, and for me that would work out well because
you're not going to get to the surface if you're that far down.
Yes, I am.
Okay, Morgan, really? How are you?
Fat floats. I'm serious. Like one day I went in my cousin's pool and I wanted to swim down to the bottom, and it took so much effort to stay down there and then when I just finally stopped putting effort, I just floated right up. So okay. you might have harder time getting to the surface, but
my boobs might help me. But let's say you had to die in either scenario. What would you choose?
Hmm. Well, I guess it's cooler to be in space, so I'll go
Exactly.
space. Yeah.
That's what I would.
And-
Same. I would go space just because, dude, you're in freaking space. That's
yeah, exactly. My favorite movie is 2001: A Space Odyssey, and I love Star Wars,
yeah.
so
It
that's
is.
kind of cool.
And as much as I love water, I am a water sign, and I feel relaxed at the beach. It's my happy place. I also have a horrendous claustrophobia thing. So if I'm scuba diving or snorkeling, I'm fine. But if I were in a contraption underneath the water and did not have a way out, I would feel very claustrophobic. Whereas in space, even though that's kind of claustrophobic in a way because it's so vast, but it would also be dope because you're in freaking
Yeah.
space. So that was a good question though, Amber. I like that one.
Yeah, it's funny because in her comment she also wrote, "I could do this all day." So
So
Amber,
good. Bring them on, girl. Bring them on. Bring them on.
yeah, Amber, if you come up with more, don't hesitate.
Actually, send them to me or Morgan direct message so we can kind of surprise the audience.
rectormedia@gmail.com. You
There
can
you go.
email it to me. Excuse me. Okay, so my next one is this is a pretty interesting conundrum. Would you rather know how you're going to die or when you're going to die?
When?
You'd rather know when? Yeah.
Yep.
Because if you know how, you could maybe plan to prevent it. But
I think if you know no, I don't think there's a way. So in my mind, in that question, you can't change it. You
yeah,
know it, but you can't change it. So it's either know one or the other. There's no way of
yeah,
stopping it.
yeah. I guess maybe I go with when because because if you die of natural causes, they may not be preventable natural causes because most people are genetically predisposed to have certain health conditions and many of them can't be cured. And so I guess it's better than just living your whole life worrying about getting
Mm-hmm.
those conditions. So
Mm-hmm.
just play it by ear like we usually are, except if you know what the exact date,
Then you
then
can fulfill the best things you can before then.
yeah,
Kind of make a map, kind of plan it out, you know?
especially if you find out it's gonna be like 5 years from now.
Exactly. Oh my God, there's so many things I need to do.
Well, you know how irresponsible I'd end up being if that were the case. Somehow I could find out, oh yeah, 5 years you're gone. I guess I just go fuck it, just
I
uh,
know.
run up some debt and just going on adventures or something.
See, and I'm the exact opposite because I have young children, so I'd have to do everything I could to instill as much as I could into them before I passed. That would be my directive. That would be my number one thing.
Yeah, I would reject all responsibility. So
Well, I do not blame you at all because if I didn't have kids, I would do the exact same thing. So
yeah.
no shame in that.
Okay, what's your next one?
Okay, you're having a medical procedure done. You only have two choices for a doctor. Would you rather have H.H. Holmes or Dr. Harold Shipman?
Remind me who they are again. Well,
So H.H. Holmes, Harold Shipman was the one. He may be one of the most notorious serial killers ever. He injected like hundreds of people with like morphine to the point where they died. How do you not know about that? That's crazy.
yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah, he racked up just people, like old people, like he just got off on taking life. So he was a practicing physician, and just people kind of caught on like, hey dude, a lot of your patients are dying, and they let him practice for so long, and then he went to other places and other places and until he finally got caught. And they're like, yeah. And then they found out like he might be one of, if not the most prolific serial killers of all time.
Well, doctors are very protected, especially surgeons, because the hospitals make so much money from surgeries. So it's hard to take down a doctor.
Yeah. And then H.H. Holmes was back in the 1800s. He built essentially a mansion with all these really intricate torture techniques, but he also presented himself as like he would take people and kind of lure them in, and then he would do experiments on them and do really. He had a murder castle, is what it was. So you're probably going to get tortured with Holmes, as opposed to Shipman, where you're just going to get a really heavy dose of morphine and die.
I would go with Shipman because
but you're only having a medical procedure done. So
well, I mean, yeah, I know. I mean, if I have to be killed by one of these dudes, I'd go with Shipman because, I mean, I've never done morphine or heroin, but I have taken OxyContin, and that does have opium, small traces of opium, and it feels really good. So a shot of just of morphine, at least you're gonna feel good when you're on your way out. So
yeah. So you need to look into the Holmes, H.H. Holmes. He's prolific. He's one of my favorite serial killers. He was really interesting just back in the 1800s.
So is that like Dahmer level morbidity? Like,
no, different. Not quite as fucking wacko as Dahmer. He was kind of more calculated about it, kind of not gruesome, where he was like fucking corpses, and I don't even want to say it. So, but look into it. You'd be very interested. I think you would do a show on it. He's really, really interesting. The Murder Castle is pretty. I would love to go there and see it, but
I'm taking that into consideration as we speak.
All right, put it on your list.
So you are being kept. My next one is you're being kept captive by BTK. So the B phase has passed. You're bound now. You can't get away. So now he's torturing you, and phase one of the torture is that you're getting to eat, but that's not good news, because here are your two options, but you only get to choose one. Would you rather eat a dead and rancid sewer rat, or enter into a duel with an anaconda to determine whom eats whom?
How big is the anaconda?
Well, it's like it's like the biggest variety, because they can swallow whole humans.
I know. Give me feet. Give me feet.
Well, I guess I think some of them go to like 28 feet or something like that. So it'd be
you
like
have to choose it, because so with this. By the way, I just want to put this out there. With this show, with this game show, I've decided we are allowed to ask one question. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so if you need a little bit more, like, okay, what you get one. So mine is, how long is that anaconda?
Okay, so I'm looking up anaconda on Wikipedia.
Give me a length.
Okay.
You're gonna go biggest, aren't you?
Well, I know that they kind of range. Okay, so the green anaconda is the biggest one. So it's the largest known species of snake, and let me check up on sizes here. So the green anaconda is the world's heaviest and one of the world's longest snakes, reaching a length of up to 5.21 meters, 17.1 feet long.
So you're giving me a 17-foot anaconda?
So yeah, let's say it is that. Yeah, that's the longest.
Then I'm eating a sewer rat.
You're eating the sewer rat, because the anaconda can kill you in.
You cannot. You can't. That's pure muscle.
Oh yeah. I saw a picture of a guy. They sliced open to an anaconda, and this dude was inside wearing fucking shorts and a t-shirt. Like, somehow that made it more horrific seeing him with clothes on and shit. Dude, there's Burmese pythons down in the Everglades that freaking swallow gators whole. Yeah, they are. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with the sewer rat.
I'd go with the anaconda. I'd like to see if I could.
You can't
win. There must be something in the room I can use to hammer his head.
No.
You don't think I'd win?
No. I love you, but no. Nope.
Well, I guess if you ate the sewer rat, you're just gonna get sick. So
we're gonna have massive, horrendous diarrhea and upset stomach. Yes.
Yeah, it might I don't know
maybe
if it will
die
kill you. It might not. It might kill you. It might not. But you're definitely going to be nauseous. That's for sure.
of 100%.
Diarrhea and vomiting. So yeah.
Ugh. This is a great game. I love it. You ready for my next one?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, this one's good. I came up with this on my own.
Right.
Would you rather have been a member of Heaven's Gate in the 60s and escaped by suicide at the age of 39, or join Scientology right now and live with the cult until you were 80 years old?
Well, I mean, the people who are members of Scientology seem to be really happy about it. I mean,
No. Have you watched any of the documentaries on Scientology?
well, they seem to they it seems like one way they manipulate them is by making them feel like they're incomplete unless
No,
like,
it's a horrendous cult. It's bad.
yeah, I
and
don't
you
know.
can't get out.
Well, one thing that really see, I'm a big fan of the film director Stanley Kubrick, and his daughter cut off her whole family, and
You
he
have
was
to.
her favorite child too, and he wrote like a 9-page letter, and she wouldn't return the letter, and
They're not
so
allowed to.
yeah, that's what cults do. They cut you off from your family. I don't know. I think I like the idea of the Jim Jones cult living on Guyana. I mean, everything leading up to that sounded pretty cool. You know, I mean, I wouldn't want to be that much of a Jesus freak, but to isolate yourself in this society in Guyana, that sounded all right. But
you have to die at 39 by suicide, or you could join Scientology and live till you're 80.
yeah, well, I mean, the people in Scientology seem to be so deluded that they don't see it as a bad thing. So maybe I would be happy about it. You know,
All right.
I mean, they don't want to leave, so.
All right, so I know a lot about it, and I'm totally going with Heaven's Gate, and I'm dying by suicide at 39.
You'd rather drink the Kool-Aid, huh?
The Flavor Aid.
Flavor Aid. Oh, okay.
It was Flavor Aid. Fun fact.
All right, my next one is this is really a female-centric one, and it's pretty imaginative, but I'll put myself in the position of being a woman for this.
Okay.
So, would you rather have a magical vagina that would cure every sex offender of their urge to rape and molest children, or have breasts that shoot lasers at any guy who tries to force himself on you?
All right, say the first thing again.
So the first thing is that your vagina has magic powers where any sex offender, whether they offend against children or adults, if they have sex with you once, they're cured of that.
Does that mean you have to go and fuck all the sex offenders?
Well, the ones who are willing to go along with it. And okay, you know what? I'll throw this in too. You can charge for it. You don't have to do it for free. The state can pay you maybe or something like $100 per guy.
Okay, and then what was?
And the second one is where, like, if a guy tries to rape you, your breasts they can shoot lasers out. And,
shit. Yeah. Well, I mean, in this case, I have to take one for the team because I would freaking try to use my vagina for good and cure sex offenders to save other people.
Yeah, that's very noble of you.
Thank you. I mean, I try to do the best thing. I have to.
Valuable public service, right?
Thank you.
Think of the lives you'd save, the misery you'd prevent.
Exactly. Yep, I'd have to. It's just.
Yeah, I think I would do that too.
You gotta.
Yeah, I'd go for that. The magical vagina too.
I mean, already. Never mind.
I won't just. Well, maybe yours is in a whole other way, but I wouldn't know. So.
Listen here.
You don't have to comment on that. So.
Okay. This one's really, really messed up, and I'm sorry, but that's the name of the game.
Yeah.
Would you rather have sex with a farm animal or kill and eat your family pet? And I will give you this. No one would know of either.
Well, I'd go for the farm animal because if it's a cow, well, what's the difference? I eat meat anyway. So I'm going to get some prime rib and some T-bone steaks out of it.
No, you have to have sex with it.
I have to have sex with it.
You either have to have sex with a farm animal or kill and eat your family pet.
Well, I'm not going to kill and eat my family pet because that was.
So you're having sex with a farm animal.
Yeah, because I mean, I wouldn't feel proud of myself, and maybe that's a memory that I could do without. But I mean, to know that, to have a cat or a dog that you love, and then you remember that you decimated them, and
Yeah,
that would be harder to live with, I think. Whereas the other one,
I too
there's a
think that.
the other one is a secret shame, but as long as you don't tell anyone, it's all
Yep,
good.
like I said, no one would know of either. So I would also probably have sex with a farm animal because I'll just get over it. I cannot kill and eat my family pet. Can't do it.
Yeah, yeah. You have this theory that the reason why horses kick people who go around their asses is because there was too much of that going on
No
centuries
shit.
ago. They got sick of it, right? They're just like, enough is enough, and if you come around my ass, I'm gonna fucking, and that's
I'm
literal.
gonna kick you.
And that's not just something that happens in the movies or cartoons. I've seen, you can go on YouTube and you can see it. It happens. They do kick that hard. People fly right back. Yeah.
Oh, I know. I've been around horses.
Yeah. Just not that part of the horse. Okay. Okay. So my next one is, say murder was legal for one day.
Oh,
So
geez.
everyone in the country is allowed to commit murder on just one day. Would you rather just watch or participate out of curiosity to find out what it's like? To find out, just to kill and chalk it up to experience.
So you're asking me if murder was legal for one day.
Would you do it, or just to experience it, see what it's like, or would you just
I wouldn't participate. I wouldn't participate.
Well, you have to do one or the other. You have to watch someone kill, or you have to kill.
I'd watch somebody kill, I guess. Oh, God. Okay, so here, let me ask one question. Can I get away with just killing one person?
Well, there's no numbers game, and there's also, you can kill whomever you like, so you're not forced to.
And then I'm not forced to watch everybody else kill, right?
Yeah, like you could go to that trailer park where all the pedophiles live. Maybe you could kill one of those guys.
All right, so I'm gonna go with that.
Okay. I guess I would kill someone. There are people that I hate, so
there'd be less scarring of killing somebody bad than having to watch other people be killed that you don't even know. Like, what I'm saying? Like, that would be more mentally fucked up.
You know what? I think would happen is, and it sounds kind of paradoxical, but maybe not. I think people would be really, really polite that day. Everyone's careful not to offend anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, absolutely.
Yep. All right. So what's your next one?
Would you rather eat a piece of a human brain or a handful of maggots out of a dead corpse?
Maggots out of a dead corpse.
Same.
Well, I guess I won't complicate it by saying that sometimes they use maggots for medical purposes, but anyway, but you have to eat the maggots, you said, right?
You either have to eat a piece of a human brain or a handful of maggots out of a dead corpse.
Well, I guess I'd eat the part of the brain. I mean, if it's availed to me, obviously it's not being used for anything constructive, so I'd try it.
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
What if it's somebody has like their brain open doing brain surgery and then like you're forced to eat a piece of it?
Well, if someone's forcing me and I can prove that they forced me, then I won't get in trouble. So I'd try it. So you're talking about like that situation where like they have to like cut a part of the skull off and let the brain swell because it's swelling and it's.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'd try it. If someone's forcing me to, then I'll just say finger them and get out of being charged. So.
I do a handful of maggots out of a dead corpse.
You do the maggots, eh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's probably protein in those, They say insects are good for you.
I'd feel less bad about it, I guess. If I had to choose, then that would be it.
Well, the person's already dead. So.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yep.
Okay, so my next one is, you were hired by the state to administer the execution of death row inmates. Does Florida have the death penalty?
Yes.
Okay, and so you've been hired to do that, and you can choose the method. So they're giving you carte blanche on that. So you have three options. Would you rather A, give them the electric chair, B, administer lethal injection, or C, kill them through firing squad?
One question. I get one question.
Three options.
What? No, I know. I say it, but I said we get one question.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay.
What's their crime?
Well, murder. I mean, that's what they usually give it for, right? Yeah.
Well, but you have to make a. You have to. I want like a specific. Like what murder was it? Like a murder of a child? Was it a murder? Just a many murders? One murder? Like what?
Say it was a serial killer, like they killed 10 people,
Okay.
and just
I'm gonna do electric chair.
electric chair. Okay.
Yep.
I think I would go for maybe, yeah, I guess it would depend on the crime. Like if it was murder through self-defense, maybe I would do lethal injection. But
Yeah.
if they were like really heinous crimes, like they sexually abused children and then killed them, then that would be
Yep.
like
Electric chair.
maybe firing squad, but like
No, because that's over in a second. That's actually more humane, to be honest with you. Because a lot of times, lethal injection, like there's been so many times that they don't get, like they have the incorrect medication, and these people fucking suffer. There's been lawsuits against it. So, but firing squad, as long as you got somebody who's knowing how to shoot, you're out, done,
yeah,
quick,
true.
done. Electric chair. Creepy.
There's been problems with the electric chair too, actually.
That's why I choose electric chair for a murderer.
Yeah, because like sometimes there wasn't enough electricity, and so the person's just being burned, and then they didn't die, and that became a fiasco. Did you ever see the documentary Mr. Death, The Rise and Fall of Fred A. Luchter Jr.?
No, I don't think I did.
Well, he was a specialist in electric chairs. He was like, leader in his field, but what brought him down was that he fell in with white supremacist Holocaust deniers, and he felt that there was no gas in the gas chambers and thought he could prove it. So that brought him down. So it's funny because it's a funny thing about those groups, right? They hate Jews. So you'd think they'd be delighted to hear that 6 million of them were killed, right? Why do they not want the Holocaust to exist? You'd think they'd commemorate it with an annual barbecue or something, right?
Because they're idiots.
Yeah, so that's a strange pathology. But anyway, what's your next one?
I'm really proud of this one. So proud. You are forced to kill someone. You only have two choices. Okay?
Yeah.
Would you rather slit their throat and watch them bleed out slowly, or hang them, but they don't die right away, so you have to watch them suffocate?
Well, I mean,
it's a good one, isn't it?
Well, in my own torture and murder fantasies, I've usually chosen the most painful and long-lasting death. So I guess I go with a knife, because eventually they're going to become lightheaded, and if you cut them in the right way, they can develop infections over time, and that would get worse. So you just read about arteries and know which ones to cut and which ones not to cut. So you can give them a slow death over weeks or months. So I guess if I needed them enough, I'd do that.
I'm looking at this as I'm killing somebody that I don't want to kill. So I think the more humane way would be to slit their throat, because I think when you lose a certain amount of blood, you kind of go out of it and don't, you just like slowly lose consciousness. Whereas if you're hanging and choking, that would be very traumatic and horrific to watch. So I'm going with slitting their throat as well.
Yeah, I guess I'm more of a homicidal maniac than you.
That's why we're juxtaposed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm the peace hippie person.
Yeah, right.
Morgan, swear to God.
Okay.
What do you got? What's your next crazy ass question?
Well, my next one actually. So, say you're governor of a state that has tabled legislation to use my idea to give prisoners the right to legally commit suicide. This would reduce incarceration costs, so that they're not just lingering around for decades. It costs about $40,000 a year to provide resources for inmates each one. So would you rather give them the right to kill themselves, or would you prefer that they rot in prison? Because your taxes pay for their health care, their meals,
You
everything.
know, you make a good point, and I guess if somebody really wanted to do it, why not? Yeah, let's
Yeah,
save
yeah.
some. Like the prisons are overcrowded. It's taxpayer money. It's, if you want to commit suicide, like, all right, dude, fine,
And you
bye.
know what? You do it carefully. You make them sign a waiver that
Yep,
absolves the institution of responsibility, and
yep, absolutely.
they have to administer the method of execution. So I imagine with that, probably the most appropriate thing would be lethal injection, or maybe shoot themselves. I don't know
Right.
which one, but cyanide capsule maybe. But
Yeah, yeah. I would. I mean, it makes logistical sense, even though I said not earlier, but when you put it that way, I
and
mean,
I would be kind enough to allow like a conjugal visit if they have kids or other family to see them one last time and
yeah,
give them one last meal, and that'll be it. So,
yeah, okay, yeah, all right, I'm in. I'm in.
all right. Yeah, me. That's what I would do. Yep. So, what's your next ones, rather?
Yeah, I got two more. So this one is my friend, one of my very, very good friends, Kelly, gave to me.
Oh,
I
she
mean,
did.
I did. I made her really, really think. And the first she said it first, I'm like, "What? That doesn't even make any damn sense." So reword that nonsense. So here it is. All right, you're being abducted. Okay. Would you rather be grabbed, blindfolded, and immediately know you are being abducted, or get into a car with what you think are friendly people and then come to the realization later that you are being abducted?
Hmm. Yeah, I guess it's. I mean, it's more jarring if you're immediately abducted, whereas I guess the horror of realizing that they're not kidding, it's going to turn into the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Maybe you could
Yeah,
prepare though, because if you
yeah.
slowly know, you could kind of more figure out what you're going to do instead of you're immediately taken.
Well, after what I know about, and I've covered a few cases of people abducting people or picking them up as hitchhikers or prostitutes and killing them in their vehicle,
Yeah.
like with those guys. They what were they called? The toolbox killers. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I've heard so many these stories now that I would be wary if I had to hitchhike. So I do have a Swiss Army knife, so maybe I would make sure to keep my hand on it, ready to
Yeah.
cut someone. So maybe, yeah, I guess I'd go for that. I'd be able to prepare more. So
Yeah, I think so too. Because when she first said it, I was like, I wasn't sure. Because I'm like, well, if you're blindfolded, immediately grabbed, you know what's going on, but you also don't have any leverage. So if you kind of think of friendly people, then you're realizing what's going on, then you can be kind of a step ahead and prepare for it. So that's where I'm going to.
all right, my last one. I know how you're going to answer this question, but
Oh, do you?
I'll ask the question anyway. You have been just released from prison after 25 years. Which would you rather do first? Eat your favorite meal or have sex?
Have sex?
Really? Oh, I expected the meal because
No,
I thought most women would just say the food, right?
no,
But then
no.
again, well, take this into consideration. 25 years from now, you're going to be 66.
Yeah, I'd probably want to. You know what? If it were then I'd want a meal.
Yeah, that would probably be. And
Yep, I'd want a meal.
what would it be? What do you think you would want to eat after all those years of shitty
Oh,
prison food?
some good fucking barbecue.
Yeah,
Yeah, some
I guess.
fries with some vinegar on them, and a good like brisket, some barbecue sauce, sizzling sweet. Oh God, yes. Good steak, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, like a good southern meal.
Because I know in prison, like, there's no salt, and it's like
Yeah.
hospital food, but worse.
And I love salt. Like salt is my weakness. So
Is it really as bad for you as they say it is? I mean, I don't know. They just say it's bad for the heart, but I mean, sometimes I wonder if maybe they blow it out of proportion.
it's bad for your blood pressure. But I mean, I eat so far. I'm 41. I just had all my labs done. They were really good. Thank God. Knock on wood. But yeah, I probably need to cut down on the salt, but I can't. I mean, I salt my fruit for fuck's sake.
You salt your fruit.
I do. I salt my fruit. Yep.
Wow.
I salt a lot of things. I can't help it. It's so funny that you asked that question because my last question is sex related.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I am such a wacko. No one judge me.
I would probably go for the sex, by the way, because in prison, it's not it's so great, especially men's prison.
Exactly.
Though there is a higher rate of sexual assault in women's prisons. I was surprised to find out. But anyway, yeah.
All right. So, would you rather never have sex again, or you can have sex once a month, but it has to be with a fresh corpse? No one would know, though. No one would know, though.
Okay, so my question is, how long ago has it been murdered, killed, died, whatever?
It's fresh. It's like within a day.
Yeah, I could fuck the corpse. Yeah.
I'm going with the corpse as well.
Yeah, no.
It's funny because I talked with my friend about this, and she goes, "Everyone's gonna say that they'd never have sex again, but eventually everyone's gonna fuck a corpse."
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, dude, seriously. And I go, wait, can it be an attractive corpse? Like, where are we going here?
Well, considering the state of my finances, I'll probably have to let necrophiles fuck me to pay for.
No. That's just, I mean, but I'm sorry for my demented, but sorry. I'm not sorry. This is who I am. It is what it is.
Well, I mean, I feel like, maybe people, I wouldn't mind donating my body for that purpose as long as the money goes to a good cause,
Donating our money to science.
To necrophilia.
I mean, our body. Yeah. To necrophilia. That could be fun. That could be a thing. It could be like, you know how you're an organ donor?
Yeah.
You'd be like a body donor for this, but the thing is, like, no one would know. So, like, I mean, never having sex again would be hard. So if you could have sex once a month with a fresh corpse, then you
can dress it up any way. You can dress it up any way you want. And
if anybody wants to comment in the Facebook page about their answers on these, I'd love to hear the answers. And also, I'm on Instagram, so if you want to inbox me, it's rtel4. I want to hear what y'all have to say.
Did you have one more?
Nope, that was my last one.
Oh, I just wanted to go with this last one. I just came up with this right now.
Oh, okay.
So there's this thing I've seen where these people have proposed where, like, you know how they can make these dolls that look like real human beings, like they're getting
the real dolls, yeah.
Like they're getting to the point where they look freakishly realistic, right?
Yeah.
Well, these people proposed making those dolls, but in the form of children, and they're saying, well, what if pedophiles could have sex with these dolls and it would prevent them from going out? And you think it would encourage that, or do you think they would get it off their chest? And
no, it would encourage it, and absolutely not. They need to be killed. Sorry, nope. I have absolutely zero tolerance for pedophiles. It is not a sexual preference. It is, don't even do that. I'm sorry. I have absolutely zero tolerance for pedophiles. You cannot be, nope. Absolutely not.
Well, yeah, I mean, that is why they haven't hit the market. So they haven't gotten very far with that.
Well, if they did, let me tell you something right now. I'd go Karen on that shit.
Yeah, they wouldn't last long in the stores, that's for sure.
I would go Karen on that shit.
Yeah, I don't know what. Well, I mean, part of what causes so much of that kind of crime is actually the incidents themselves, because a lot of these people grow up and end up being offenders. So
that's perpetuating the behavior, though.
Yeah.
You need to take the money spent into making a child sex doll and put it toward stopping and doing more to prevent and find and capture pedophiles. Okay?
Yeah,
so if we have the money to do that, freaking put it towards something else.
But if they haven't offended, how do you know which ones they are or where they are or who they are, right? So.
Okay, let's put it this way. Let's make them, and then anybody who buys them immediately gets arrested.
Oh, yeah, you'd have to do it online, I guess.
Yeah.
They'd have to
I mean,
sell.
if you're going to do it as a way of capturing pedophiles, okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good idea.
They'd probably try to lie and say, "Oh no, I was buying this for my niece." And
Nah, bitch. Mm-mm. Nope.
well, on that note, that's all for True Crime Would You Rather for this week. I'm Morgan Rector.
I'm Rachel Telfor, the really weird, messed up brain I have, but I think we had a good show.
Yes, and now we go and recover and act semi-normal for the rest of the week.
Now we have to go pretend to be normal human beings, correct? Yes.
Well, you do. You have to face your coworkers, but
Yeah, I do.
I work alone, so I'm lucky in that regard. So.
Thank you,
Oh,
Morgan.
you better not tell anyone at work actually that you do this show, or have you?
Oh no, all my coworkers know. Half of
Oh,
them
you do?
listen to it.
Oh,
Oh yeah, they're
that's
cool.
okay.
I have great coworkers and great friends. I'm
Oh,
blessed.
hi everybody. If you listen to the show,
Vanessa is one of my girls who listens. I appreciate her a lot. So.
oh, okay, cool.
But thanks everybody for listening. Morgan, thank you again for my birthday gift
Yeah.
and the shout out and the love. Appreciate it.
And thank you, Amber, for all your True Crime Would You Rathers.
Keep them coming, girl. Keep them coming.
Everybody else who did them, yeah.
Yeah, appreciated.
All right, take care.
I'll talk to you later.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.